Hey everybody, Nick Blair at Bangert Inc. As you know, I'm going through Bangert's deployment process for Sage Intacct Construction, and I've run into some questions. So I brought Lisa here to answer some of those today. Thanks for joining, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
So, big question that I have for you today is all about recurring journal entries. As I ran into these, I was just wondering, in construction, why might we want to use recurring journal entries?
Sure. So, in construction and in general business as well, recurring journal entries are used when you want to systematically record something monthly. You could do weekly or daily if wanted, but usually it's a monthly journal entry and the amounts stay the same and the accounts stay the same. Departments, locations, a lot of the coding stays the same. One example would be depreciation. So, at the end of your fiscal year, you go through an audit, you get your fixed assets reconciled in your depreciation, and you get a forecast from your auditor or from your CPA that says what next year's depreciation is going to be. So they gave you those amounts, and then you systematically record those on a monthly basis. And that's a very good example of recurring journal entry because they don't change usually. Another example would be if you're amortizing prepaid insurance. So you pay your carrier 120 grand for the year, did some easy math, divided by 12, that's 10 grand a month. And you're going to systematically recognize $10,000 in insurance expense a month instead of all at once when you pay it, right? Because it's really for an entire year. So those are a couple examples. Some depreciation and amortizing things are two really good reasons in construction and in general business. Construction doesn't have a whole lot of recurring entries per se, but it all depends on the type of business as well. If you are doing a lot of amortizing of items and prepaying a lot of things, that's a good reason to create those recurring journal entries. A third one I could think of would be principal and debt, where you're paying on a loan. The only issue with that one is you do have to change the principal and interest monthly, because as you pay down principal, the interest changes. So you might have to edit the entry a tad, but at least you'd have the coding set in there and it would be easy to do that.
So in that circumstance, would you recommend having the recurring entry and then just going in and editing it?
It is a preference. So Some people do not like to do that. Some people do like to do that. Another option you have in Intacct, and I'll share my screen here just to give you guys a visual, is you can duplicate entries. So on a journal entry, you can hit this duplicate button and you'd have all the coding as well, and you could change the amounts. So it's kind of like a recurring, it gives you the same option with all the lines will be there, but recurring, you can schedule it to just automatically post at the end of a month. So that's the benefit to recurring versus duplicating.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Are there any sort of wacky situations that you've seen these used for that you would never have expected before?
Not yet in Intacct, no. I have seen a company in another system years ago where they set up too many recurring entries. They never put an end date on it. So it junked up their general ledger for many periods in the future because I think they had posted all entries and they were able to in the future. Intacct doesn't really do that. It posts at the end of the month as kind of a control. So it doesn't junk up your general ledger. Intacct has thought that through. So I have seen a crazy software do that before, but it's pretty rare. And Intacct does not allow you to do that. Put an end date on your transactions for sure, so that you have to review it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I appreciate all your time. Thanks for helping me out.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.